work of educators and students happening inside and around public schools in New Orleans. Our school communities are full of so much talent and promise, so let's talk about it. This month, we'll be joined by Jamar McNeely, Jarrell Bryant, and Dana Peterson for a discussion focused on the importance of Black men in education. Also, we will hear from Kathleen Harris, Dr. Sheila Guidry, and Dr. Kelly Jordan to talk about how NSNO and NOLA Public Schools are supporting a growing English language learner population in our schools. Following that, we will have a conversation with a few representatives from NOLA Public Schools to talk about the upcoming enrollment window for school year 26-27 using the New Orleans Common Application process. So tune in to Talk That, NOLA Education, every Monday at 12:30 p.m. on 12:30 a.m. To learn more about NSNO and our programs, visit newschoolsforneworleans.org.
Good morning, Wake Up.
The Good Morning Show.
Good morning.
On WBOK.
Wonderful opportunity to be with you today, because that means we've gotten through Monday and Tuesday, and today is Hump Day. Yes, it is. It's Hump Day midweek, and we're going to have a good day today. We're going to have a good show, and we've got a couple more days to go, and then we're into another weekend. Well, today is day 42 of the government shutdown. As a reminder, I checked the official whitehouse.gov site to see if we're still in a shutdown. And the White House says we are still in a government shutdown. And they've got a big old clock on the homepage that says it's 42 days, 9 hours, 4 minutes, and 51 seconds of government shutdown. So just because we've had news in the last couple of days doesn't mean the shutdown is over. So be aware that that is the case. So they still have a little button on the White House homepage to say, find your rep. You know the drill. Find your rep.
Send those emails all the time.
Send them an email.
Right.
But how often do people actually do that?
Yeah.
So,
they should.
Well, good morning, Ashley Shelton.
Good morning.
Well, thank you. Thank you for coming back.
Yeah, no, I'm excited.
You did all right yesterday?
Yeah.
Felt all right?
Thank you. I hope I was all right.
Oh, you did good. Nobody called me and said, don't bring that one back anymore.
Well, thank God. Okay,
yeah,
okay.
Yep. So, and your day went all right after doing this show. It's a different way to start your morning.
It is. No, a great day. And, in fact, I left here and had a meeting talking about how we need to engage Black voters in the reality of this Calais and this Voting Rights Act case. And that, speaking of making the phone call and calling your rep, people have to understand that if the Supreme Court guts the Voting Rights Act, that it takes Black power and voice away at every level of government. And not only Black voice and power, but minority voice and power, which means Black, brown, API, and women of all race and ethnicities.
Yep.
So,
well, I want to get back to that today
Yes.
because, as I said yesterday, we're so focused on the top line news of the day. And it's important to know what's going on with government shutdown, but there's some other things where, we can't take our eye off of these other balls that are being tossed. And, some of these balls, they're like hiding behind their backs and everything. They got other stuff going on. So,
Absolutely.
yes, day 42 of the government shutdown. It is 7:07 a.m. right here at WBOK, 12:30 a.m. And it is Hump Day.
It is.
Hump Day.
It is. Look,
You like Hump Day?
and we're still alive.
Yeah, we're doing it. And One of the things that we like to tell you here is school zone is in effect. And we tell you all the time to be careful and watch out for the babies.
Mm-hmm.
And unfortunately,
Oh gosh, I saw
we
this.
had a grandmother arrested yesterday for killing a 5-year-old child waiting for a bus. There's a reason we urge you to do this.
Absolutely.
You got to
Absolutely.
pay attention. I don't know Kristen Anders, 55. She is now charged with vehicular homicide. And the homicide is her own grandson.
Oh gosh, it's just devastating. Devastating.
Now, I've never been in a situation where I've killed somebody. I've never attempted to kill somebody. I will say I got really, really angry way back in 1965 because a driver hit my youngest brother,
Oh
and
gosh.
I was really, really angry. So I know what that feels like because it took my dad and more people to hold me down.
Mm-hmm.
And that is a different kind of emotion, set of
Mm-hmm.
emotions than
Mm-hmm.
anger. I cannot imagine killing somebody and you didn't intend to kill them.
Yeah, no, it's a weight that is.
And then it's your own blood.
Well, and my mom, when I started driving, my mother would always say, she was like, "You have more time than lives. You have more time than lives." And this story really reminds me of the reality that we have to take a minute, take a beat, because now their lives have changed
Forever
forever, forever, and our grandson's gone.
gone.
5.
5 years old.
Life barely started.
5 years old. Well,
We got to
police
slow down, folks, and we got to pay attention.
police are still investigating, but part of the early investigating indicates that perhaps she was under the influence of alcohol and drugs.
Mm.
And I don't condone that, but definitely not doing that kind of thing in driving.
Yeah.
Just not a good combination. I've been tired enough without alcohol or drugs, and I can feel the difference
Right,
when
right.
being able to pump that brake
Yep, your
soon enough.
instincts. Yep, your instincts.
I mean, it's just way too
Y-
off. I mean, the woman, according to police, Slidell police, was driving forward out of the driveway and hit the child, and fast enough that the child died instantly.
oh
So it
gosh.
wasn't like
Yeah.
you're slowly 5 or 7. So it seems, and this is a seems, people, that it had to be going fast enough where you press the gas enough that instant death.
Yeah. It's devastating.
Even if you have a
Devastating.
small vehicle, those vehicles are heavy.
Yeah, yeah.
Those vehicles are heavy. Um,
I
so
mean,
this is heartbreaking.
it is, and and these are the kinds of things that that devastate communities too, because it's just like, this is a child who goes to a school who has who presumably has siblings, a mother. Like, there's just all these dominoes that
Absolutely.
fall, and it's really unfortunate, to just be like being under the influence,
Hmm.
it, and taking out your grandson. I don't know how you
Right.
come back from that.
Today,
I
my
don't-
grandson's birthday. I can't imagine losing him and not being able to see him again, not
Absolutely
to
not.
be able to talk to him, not be able to hug him. So please, 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 school zone speeds are in effect until 9. But as this incident shows, you don't even have to be near a school for something bad to happen, please be careful
Pay
in
attention.
your home, property, driveway, garage. Pay attention. And if you know you are not fit to drive,
Yep.
please,
Don't.
please don't
Do
do
not.
it. Please don't do it. We're going to have to go to break, and we'll get back to some of the news and information that you should know, want to know, might want to know, and maybe we'll give you a little different context on it as well. I am Will Sutton, and with me again today is Ashley Shelton. High
Good morning.
five!
Yes. Good morning.
welcome back, and welcome back to you, our WBOK audience of listeners, our family. We appreciate you giving us some of your time. This is WBOK, 12:30 a.m. What New Orleans is talking about
Yes.
all day long.
This is your news update for WBOK from WDSU. For all your news and weather, watch WDSU News, New Orleans' leader in live, local, late-breaking news. Today at noon and 4
Good
p.m.
Wednesday morning. I'm Daryl Forges with WDSU News, and here's your headlines. One person is dead and 2 others are hurt after a stabbing in New Orleans East. Police say this happened around 10 o'clock last night on Pebble Drive. We're told one of the victims died at the scene and the other 2 were taken to a local hospital for treatment. Investigators tell us this could have been domestic in nature. No suspect information or other details have been released at this time. Now, that crime follows a deadly shooting in Central City. New Orleans police say that happened yesterday around 6:30 p.m. on South Claiborne Avenue near Jackson. Officers say at the scene they found a man suffering from at least 1 gunshot wound. He was rushed to a local hospital where he later died. There's no other word yet on a motive or other information, but call Crime Stoppers at 504-822-1111 if you have any information that can help police with either of these incidents. And today could be the final day of the historically long government shutdown. The House is expected to vote on the Senate-passed bill to fund the government through January. This package extends government funding through January 30th and also includes a minibus of 3 full-year appropriations bills, as well as fully fund SNAP benefits through the end of next September. A vote will follow before the package is sent to President Donald Trump's desk. I'm Daryl Forges, and that's your headlines for WBOK.
Good morning, good morning, good morning. Welcome back to the Good Morning Show right here on WBOK AM. It is 7:15. If you need to be there at 7:15, you are late. You're late. But hopefully you got a little flex time, or maybe your report time is like 7:30 or 7:45. In this New Orleans area, of course, you got 15, 20 minutes to get almost anywhere.
Mhm.
But, I mean, that's just what we say. I mean, there are a few places where it takes more like 25 minutes or something like that, kind of depending on where you are going and from where, especially if you start way up in New Orleans East. You start out at Michoud,
Yep.
it might take you more than 10, 15 minutes to get
It does. It does.
somewhere.
Absolutely. Okay.
Feel like I'm coming in from the country or something.
Right,
Nope,
right.
that's the city of New Orleans.
It
up there.
is. It is.
Yep. So we were talking about being safe and driving, and just a reminder that the voice you're hearing is Will Sutton, and the other voice you're hearing is Ashley Shelton, the founder, president, and CEO of the Power Coalition. Say good morning to the people. They've been
Good
hearing your voice,
morning.
but
Good morning. I am so glad to be here and to just share this time with you and talk about what's happening in our great city.
yeah, not all of it is good, but
No.
we touch on. I mean that's part of what makes the Good Morning Show a little different. We've kind of bring people up to speed on some of the news
Absolutely.
and
There's so much
information and then
happening.
important issues.
Yes.
So overnight, there was a person killed and 2 others were wounded in Littlewoods. So this was last night about 10 o'clock, 8,000 block of Pebble Drive. And there were 3 victims. One was an adult. but we don't know whether the others were kids or
Oh
adults.
gosh.
They were transported to a hospital, and this particular incident came just hours after a Central City shooting.
Yeah. Saw
Uh,
that.
so, I mean, yes, we live in an urban area and we have crime and we have these things. So we are thankfully still not as bad as we used to be
Mm-hmm.
with violent crime and homicides in particular. But the Central City shooting led to a fatality in the 2100 block of South Claiborne Avenue, and that was about 6:35 p.m.
Mm-hmm.
So pronounced dead at the hospital, not at the scene. In both of these cases, the police would like to get more information, and Crime Stoppers is helping,
Mm-hmm.
as they often do. 504 822 1111, 504 822 1111. So those are a couple of things that happened in the news that we want to make sure that you're aware of. Over in Tinge Bahor, we had a armed person shot by one of the deputies, and this was a mental health crisis. They
Mm-hmm.
believe.
Mm-hmm.
I mean, that's what they believe, mental health crisis. But that's one of those things again where depends on who you are, what you know and understand about yourself, what you
Right.
know and understand about your family members. And in the case of the woman and the driver, if you know these things about yourself or your
Mm-hmm.
family member, alcohol and drugs and driving, not a good
Don't go
mix.
together. Yep.
Mental health crisis and guns,
Don't go together.
not a good mix. So Louisiana State Police were called over to Louisiana Highway 442 about 6:40, and they called the sheriff called the shooting an unfortunate situation because the individual was a danger to themselves and to residents in the area. So we'll be looking for more information about that to see.
Mm-hmm.
Hopefully, nobody else was injured, and we are going to be okay with reporting about that as we get any additional updates on
Mm-hmm.
that. Now, it is 7:20. You've got to be somewhere 7:30. Make sure you take your time. Look both ways. I'm going to say this: look both ways as you exit your door.
Mm-hmm.
You know, I mean, I grew up in a household of a bunch of people, and it's easy to slam the door in somebody's face. And
There
you
it
got
is.
people running in and out in the morning trying
Yeah,
to get
I'm one of
somewhere,
5 kids. I know.
forgetting something, and oh my
Mm-hmm.
goodness, I forgot my lunch or my
Right.
backpack, or these days
One
a
more thing. I
phone.
got to get one more thing.
Yep, right, absolutely. So please, please be careful out there. So government shutdown,
Mm-hmm.
day 42. We have more news and information about what happened
Mm-hmm.
with the Democrats who decided to work on the deal,
Mm-hmm.
the compromise.
Yeah, the Senate
Yes,
deal.
the Senate deal. Yes,
That's not
let's be
the House deal,
clear.
right? To be
Let's
clear.
be clear, because this is not like the total
Picture.
package.
Yeah, exactly.
It's like this is one part for those of you who, and I know I'm telling a bunch of you who already know this, but remember there are two houses to the U.S. Congress.
Yes. There are, yes.
There's the U.S. Senate, and there's the U.S. House of Representatives. In normal times, there's a balance of power, but
Right.
these are not normal times.
Indeed.
So we got a piece of a deal with the U.S. Senate, and so this is still going to the processes, the votes and the committees that needs to go through, and it will be moving to the U.S. House of Representatives. Meanwhile, there are calls for Chuck Schumer's resignation
Mm-hmm.
because he didn't hold the party together. he made a big point of saying, I voted no.
And was behind the whole thing. I mean,
Yeah, right. I voted no. I
Right.
voted no.
Right.
Yeah.
It was like, sir,
Yeah.
you're getting a little old and long in the tooth for this game if you think that we don't understand and know that you orchestrated this whole thing. I mean, it's just like, okay, like, you know, we're the rest of us can see and the rest of us understand how politics work. And it's an old political move too. Like it's not even original.
No, it's not original. It's not original. Did you see any of the video of him explaining that?
I did not.
I thought it was some bad acting.
Yeah.
It was
There's
like,
there's
"And
a
I
lot
am,
of
I am."
theater.
It was
There's
like,
a lot of theater going on. Okay. A lot of theater. And you know what? I'm glad we have some folks joining us to talk about how we support community in
Yes.
these moments because you know, even as we, you know, kind of talked about some of the crime and some of the things that have happened in the last 24 hours, you know, I think that you know, like I don't want people to forget that like sometimes we hear all the, you know, like all the terrible things that are happening in our community, but you know, you cannot separate, you know, like some of this violent crime that gets exacerbated by, you know, the fact that groceries cost, you know, at least a third more than they used to. People aren't working. And that, you know, that there are ripples to whether you work for the federal government or not. If your mom does, then that's a financial reality for you too, right? You know,
Absolutely.
because you've got to be able to take care of your family. And I think, you know, I just, you know, like I think we have to think about our community in total. And I always tell folks public safety absolutely includes police, but it is not the only strategy.
No.
So how do we think about public safety as job opportunities? How do
Right.
we think about public safety as, you know, parks with lights and all, you know, like all of these amenities that we sometimes take for granted, but those are the things that make a community work. And so we have to have that bigger conversation about how all of this economic turmoil that's happening across this country at every turn,
Right.
right?
Absolutely.
From the price of your eggs to whether or not you can get out of the airport.
Absolutely.
It's
Absolutely.
everywhere you turn.
Absolutely. So we're going to be taking a break, and coming up, we'll have Michael Williamson from United Way of Southeastern Louisiana. He's the president and CEO, so he knows a little bit about some of these things.
Yes.
So he's going to be updating us on their government shutdown relief fund. A good thing. Not everybody can do that. Glad that they're able to do that, and he'll be letting us know about that. And we'll also be hearing from the Housing Authority of New Orleans. They've got something super special coming up with the first men's empowerment event. That's coming up too. So we're going to break right now. We'll be back. I'm Will Sutton. This is Ashley Shelton. For those of you on Facebook who can see us, there
Right.
she
Hello.
is. All right. You're listening to WBOK, 12:30 a.m., what New Orleans is talking about. All day long. All righty.
Got it.
This is your news update for WBOK from WDSU. For all your news and weather, watch WDSU News, New Orleans' leader in live, local, late-breaking news. Today at noon and 4 p.m.
The warmer weather is back in your forecast. Highs today eventually reach 73 to 77 with partly cloudy skies. We'll stay into the upper 70s, lower 80s for the rest of the week. We're also staying dry for today, but over the next couple of days, we could see a couple of mornings with some fog. Lows for tonight dropping to 50 to 58, so a milder week is up ahead. For the WDSU First Warning Weather Center, I'm Raven Richard.
New Orleans, are you ready for a voice that says what you're thinking? Who that, you might ask? Arrington Gavin. That's right, I'm your guy, host of the Arrington Gavin Show, giving you so much filled with bold opinions, real conversations, and zero sugarcoating. We're going to be diving into the issues that matter, politics, pop culture, and all the above, unfiltered and unafraid. Catch the Arrington Gavin Show weeknights from 7 p.m. to 8 p.m., Monday through Fridays, right here on WBOK, what New Orleans is talking about.
Tired of the impersonal, one-size-fit-all style of banking? You deserve a bank that delivers exceptional service and personalized attention to your needs. That's the Home Bank Standard. Since 1908, Home Bank has been a trusted financial partner for businesses and families because we go the extra mile to help you reach your goals. See for yourself why Home Bank is good for business, good for life. Stop by any New Orleans area location or find out more at home24bank.com. Home Bank, member FDIC.
A message from the Greater New Orleans East Business Alliance. New Orleans East is primed for economic development and growth. The East has an abundance of commercial space and vacant land available. The opportunity for development is endless. Come be a part of the economic rebuild. For more information, please give us a call at 504-957-3568. That's 504-957-3568. Building a strong New Orleans East makes a stronger New Orleans.
I live in New Orleans, and I work for Entergy. Hundreds of us make this city our home. That's why we're committed to providing you low-cost, reliable power. We're working on new projects across the city to reduce outages when bad weather strikes.
And we're working hard to keep our rates 20% below the national average. We're making changes and doing more.
Because New Orleans is our home, too.
Visit DePaul's new Algiers Health Center at 2801 General de Gaulle Drive to receive primary and preventive care for both adults and children. Services also include behavioral health, imaging, and on-site pharmacy, vision, Medicaid enrollment assistance, and more. For appointments, visit DePaulCommunityHealthCenters.org or call 504-207-3060.
A message from the community scientist. Do you live or work in St. James, St. John, St. Charles, Ascension, Calcasieu, Baton Rouge, or St. Bernard Parish? You may be exposed to harmful chemicals like phthalates, BPA, and flame retardants found in everyday products but linked to serious health risks. That's why the Community Scientist, a program of Rise St. James, brings you clear, science-based facts that protect your health and our environment. Stay informed, stay empowered. Visit risestjames.org today.
In the lower nine, we waited long enough for empty promises. Cindy Wynn delivers. She's fought blight, brought housing, and helped small businesses rise again. Now her plan means safer streets, cleaner blocks, and real jobs right here at home. Cindy Wynn building a better East, starting with us in the lower Ninth Ward, paid for by the committee to elect Cindy Wynn.
You've got responsibilities, but that doesn't mean your dreams are on hold. At Southern University at New Orleans, our evening and weekend college is designed with your life in mind. Finish your degree, start a new one, on your time, your degree, your schedule. No excuses, just opportunity. Visit suno.edu and make your next move today.
Good morning, Wake Up.
The Good Morning Show.
Good morning.
On WBOK.
Good morning, good morning, good morning, New Orleans, and welcome back to the Good Morning Show. To those of you who have been with us, and you're just you missed some news and information, not all of it good, but Ashley Shelton is here with me. I'm Will Sutton, and we're going to be moving into conversation with our friend Michael Williamson, President and CEO from the United Way of Southeastern Louisiana. A part of what we were talking about a little earlier, Michael, was the government shutdown. I made a point of looking at the White House website. They still have it at day 42 and counting because the government shutdown is not over.
No.
We've had some thawing.
That's good.
And some Democrats decided to join with I'll call it a partial deal, since it's a deal with the U.S. Senate and not with the U.S. House of Representatives.
Exactly.
To begin to move things forward, and there are other Democrats who are saying that they will continue to fight this as it moves from the Senate into the U.S. House. So there are many more congressional representatives in the House than there are senators. So it could get pretty boisterous. Depending on how things move along.
Absolutely.
And,
It's been boisterous.
I know that there were Republican leaders saying we should get this resolved by Wednesday, but I'm not so sure now if that will happen, but we'll see. But meanwhile, you all are doing something about this, and you've got a government shutdown relief fund established. And, of course, United Way does a lot of good work to help people of all kinds anyway. But then you look at special moments like this. And another thing that you all do is when there are disasters.
Exactly, yeah.
But this is a different kind of disaster.
This is different. And I think, first let's just start with, in Southeast Louisiana, 1 in 2 households are struggling every day. They're on the verge of financial crisis. We call them ALICE, asset limited, income constrained, but employed, they're working. They're still struggling. So any disruption, hardship, crisis, natural or otherwise, impacts those households, far more quickly. And it's far more devastating. And so, together with our community partners, food banks, food pantries in the region, we launched our government relief shutdown fund, but also a coordinated effort to try to drive food donations to our food banks and food pantries. And we sat like many people and we watched to see, okay, how long is this going to last? We weren't thinking, okay, we're going to break a record here with the shutdown. But we reached a point where we knew that the impacts were going to be lingering regardless. And so we opened the fund and started the food drive to try to stand in the gap as much as we could and kind of hold things together. But, as hard as we try, this is really something that, it's up to our federal government and our congressional leaders, our delegation especially, to get the government open. And it sounds like they're close. They could be voting tonight. Sounds like they might have enough to get it done. And then, our work continues.
But even when the shutdown ends and the government reopens, there's going to be this lag time for a number of things, including benefits.
Yeah.
We saw just a few days ago. Yeah. Here's some money. Oh, wait a minute. No, there's no money, or there's less money. And then with some of the federal departments, Veteran Affairs, for instance. There are things that have to happen in your organizations.
Absolutely.
You have to pay attention to deadlines and things that, the general public, even some staff might not be aware of. But if you don't hit those marks,
absolutely,
you have some more than hiccups because you didn't hit those marks. And same thing with those government agencies.
Yeah, it's like we have, once again, a lot of partners that are like say, using the phrase that, folks in service use, stand in the gap to support our communities. But once again, any disruption will have a lingering impact. And just think, you didn't have those, of course, the money was there, wasn't there. You didn't have the SNAP benefits to pay for those groceries. The number of families that don't have access to credit. They don't have a fallback to be able to purchase that food they need. They're turning to the food banks. They're turning to the food pantries. They're turning to us. We've seen a massive increase of folks coming to our prosperity centers looking for all forms of assistance. We estimate that could have been as many as 100 people a week just in our centers. Oh, wow. And that's just they knew where to come. That's just they just knew to come there. They had ability to get there. That doesn't scratch the surface. And so we know the need was significant, and really proud of our board of trustees for agreeing to allow us to launch the fund, putting some resources in the fund. And also we've been in conversations with other funders who are similarly. And so we expect some announcements around like some financial support to go into the food banks and food pantries, because we know it's going to be needed.
Absolutely.
Even when the government reopens due to the lingering impacts.
Absolutely.
How did you all decide which needs are the most pressing?
Well, we know, if you look at our ALICE Data Research Project, or AKA the ALICE Report, and you look at what constitutes a basic survival budget, food is of the utmost importance. Absolutely. Housing, if you have a mortgage, you can work with your bank, you can defer payments, you can stretch things a little bit. If you have a landlord, hopefully you can negotiate. The landlord understands what's going on, and they'll give you some breathing room, hopefully. We encourage our landlords to think that way. But the one thing that's hard to stretch is food.
Right.
Because pantries were already empty. You know, these benefits have already been challenged,
Absolutely.
you know, over the past several months. And so the one, and we saw, especially with the shutdown of the SNAP benefits,
Right.
that, you know, that was the signal to us is that this is a basic need that families can't go out. Like kids can't learn if they're hungry.
Absolutely.
It's hard to work and give it your all if you're hungry. And
Or
so we
worried
settled
about
on
feeding your family.
or worried about feeding your
Yeah.
family.
Right,
And people struggle with that already. I
Right.
mean, this is not new, but this crisis certainly shined a very bright light on that issue.
Yeah, no, and and I think we've been talking about Alice families, and I think people forget how poor our state is. Like Louisiana is very rich in many ways, right? Culture, oil and gas, industry, all these different things. But the people of the state are really there are so many Alice families, so many folks living on that line, and I think that this is why I talk about why voting is so important, because we've got to have leaders that are going to prioritize their constituents and put them first. And so it's like, in addition to this work that is amazing, and one of my questions is, how can people support
Yes.
and add funds? Because even in the midst of this ongoing political fight, people are struggling. And then the mom in me is like, oh my God, it's about to be the holidays. Kids are going to be out of school at least 3 weeks between Thanksgiving and Christmas, and what are they going to do? And this is only going to get as long as this goes on, right? Like, this is only going to be exacerbated. So how can people support the fund?
So I would encourage folks to visit our website at unitedwayscla.org. It's right there on the main page, the Government Relief Shutdown Fund. If you can, if you're able, contribute. We'll ensure 100% of those funds go to support families impacted by the shutdown, including our food bank partners. Some folks like to roll their sleeves up and
Come
do
work,
something.
yeah.
And so, go collect food from your neighbors, canned goods, non-perishable items, those basic staples. Bring them to one of our prosperity centers. That's all on our website. Make it easy for folks. Or your local food bank, your church food pantry, etc. I think those are easy ways to help. And, I think things happen for a reason, quite honestly. And I think, this crisis, the reopening, and the fact that we've all been focused on food insecurity and this, what we call Alice,
Right.
I think sets us up for a much deeper conversation. To your point, Louisiana is considered and I'm air quoting here, poor state. How do we fix that? Well, you fix that by unlocking the potential of Alice families. You fix that by asking a question every time you make a decision, especially as policymakers. Is what I'm doing good for Alice? Is it going to create a pathway to economic prosperity for struggling families? Because we're rich in talent as well.
Yeah, absolutely.
And as jobs are created, let's not import talent. Let's use our local talent. Let's ensure that Alice families have what they need. Alice individuals have what they need to pursue all this, economic opportunity that's before us. And that's the way I think we can begin to move up the list. Like, we always say we're tired of being on the top of the bad list and on the bottom of the good list. We can reverse that because we have all the talent. And I think this shutdown for us has reminded us just how fragile our society is. Alice families are in the state. But we also know we can do something about it. It's at the end of the day, it's not rocket science.
Right. Yeah. Well, imagine that. Imagine the state making economic development decisions based on Alice.
Wow.
It's a great idea, Will. We stand ready.
Right.
Alice report in hand, because we are not economic development.
Right.
We're not a workforce development organization, and we applaud those organizations, the GNO Incs. Of the world and others that are out there working to grow economic opportunity. Our charge is to ensure that struggling families that could benefit most have access to the resources and supports that they need so they can pursue that pathway to economic prosperity.
All right. Now, if somebody says, okay, I'm going to donate, I am not a federal worker. I did not lose contract work. I'm doing okay. I want to help. How can they be sure that whatever they have to offer is going to be used in the way that it sounds like it's going to be used as a part of the relief fund?
So we take that question very seriously. It has literally been the hallmark of our organization for the 101 years that we've been in this community. And so our commitment to the community is 100% of your contribution is going to go to help those impacted by the shutdown. And when I say 100%, it's all those funds, no administrative costs. Our board has allowed us to do this work and use existing resources that we have internally to do that. Outside of that, we'll provide regular updates. As we spend the resources and we make grants, et cetera, we're going to come back and put it on our website and say, here's exactly what we did with your resources. We've done it in natural disasters. Hurricane Ida, we had regular reports go out and say, here's how the money, here's what we've raised, and here's what we spent. And we also showed, and we demonstrate through this, how we move at the speed of need. We believe that, people can't wait for support and help. They certainly can't wait for hope. And our objective is always to move very quickly, get the resources out the door, get it in the hands of folks that need it or doing the work so they can do their jobs. And so we'll report that to the community on a regular basis. Promise.
Yeah, no, I love that. Move at the speed of need.
Yeah, I like that.
I like that. That's important. And I've worked with Charmaine and so many folks on your team for a really long time. And so just
force of nature.
Yeah, no, force of nature indeed. You want to talk about moving a legislature?
Mountains, legislature.
Exactly. And so, one of the things too that I think is important, can you talk a little bit about, and we'll kind of start to open it up, but to just make sure that folks understand that in accessing this fund, that it can be multiple needs. It doesn't have to be that you're a federal worker. It doesn't have to be, but that it could just be that you were food insecure in the first place, or in between jobs, or I always tell folks sometimes, it's that one car breakdown, that one flat tire that just spirals families into a hole that they have to work so hard to get out of. And it's unfortunate, but that's how real it is.
Yeah, for so many, those small crises, like those mini hurricanes, tire blowout from a pothole in the city. For us, they're a terrible inconvenience. It's like, oh my gosh, I got to take time off work. I got to go get my tire fixed. It's going to cost me a few $100s. For others, it's tragic. It literally leads into a downward spiral. And oftentimes those are Alice families. I mean, the data would tell you that you have a 1 in 2 chance of that being an Alice family that's, more dramatically impacted. And so regardless of your need, we encourage you, and regardless of who you are, we encourage you to, visit our United Way website, where we have a number of resources listed and available there, but also visit one of our prosperity centers. Once again, those addresses are on their website, and let us do the intake, assess what your needs are, and see what we can do to help. Once again, regardless, we never turn anybody away. If somebody's in need, we're going to be there for that person in their community. And ironically, and we've seen this, we've heard it from our colleagues across the country, United Ways, that folks that have long been contributors, giving of their hard-earned wages to nonprofits like United Way, are now standing in line to get support and help. This goes very much back to like a Katrina point in time where you were all impacted. You were standing in line for food and ice and water. You're seeing some of that as well, and it's important that we're there for those individuals like we would be there for anybody else.
Yeah, no, I always talk about like in times of disaster, the only thing that works really well is mutual aid and how we show up for each other in community. And and that's exactly what you're talking about, like how we support each other and take care of each other in these moments. And even though, as we've said, the government may open back up and benefits will start flowing, like the damage has still been done. And the thing that holds our communities together is that how we work together to be able to support them. And so this fund is, a beautiful, example of how we support each other in these times.
It is. It's really about humanity. And we all have this, kind of internal desire more generally to help people. And oftentimes we're trying to figure out how, when Alexis de Tocqueville visited our country and went around and visited community, states, et cetera, and saw the good in the people here. He wrote the book, Democracy in America. And it speaks to this mutual aid, this wanting to support, one another, just this innate desire. It sometimes gets lost
Mm-hmm.
in, today things busy and chaotic,
Right.
etc.
And also too the pain
But it still exists.
Right.
And we think, not just United Way, all of our community partners, the food banks, the youth serving, or so many to list, so many partners, Ashley, you know them.
Yes.
They're there to help individuals connect in a way that they can have an impact on a fellow human being. And I think that speaks to that's the good of the community, and we certainly see it coming out. Even in the midst of the shutdown.
How can folks engage with the fund, and how can they engage with the Prosperity Centers?
Exactly. Once again, I try to make it easy for folks. Folks may be in their car, etc. All you have to do is remember United Way, SELA.org. Right there on the front page, there's a link to the shutdown page, and then you go in there. You can make a contribution. There's a resource navigation, like where you can look and see what resources are available. So you can, and certainly our Prosperity Center addresses. And also an FAQ. So people will have questions like why and who and what. All that's right there on the page.
Excellent.
So can you, I know we're going to have to go in a bit, talk about the blueprint for prosperity a bit?
Absolutely. And I'm even more excited as we prepare for what I would call Blueprint 2.0 in support of our bold goal to help 100,000 ALICE individuals achieve pathways to prosperity by 2035. And so we are laying out this month with our Board of Trustees those pathways and those measures. And I think something important to note here, since you asked, is that the blueprint in our approach is not just United Ways. This is something for the entire community, stakeholders, public, private, et cetera, to do their part in support of a pathway. What does it mean to achieve economic prosperity? And what does it look like? So our leadership in higher education, are essential, youth serving organizations, economic development, like you name it, everybody has a role to play. And we're trying to lay that out so we all have an ability to kind of galvanize around this idea of what does it look like when you help 100,000 people achieve a pathway that, can be sustained. Right. And so we're excited. I mean, it touches on all the importance of access to high quality early care and education, out of school time activities, health, mental, physical, behavioral health. I've been on the show before and we've talked about the mental health collaborative that Councilman Joe Geruso launched.
Too in this moment. I think that folks don't understand how these kind of crises also have mental health implications for our communities, our families.
Yeah.
It's all interconnected.
Yep.
And so we're really proud of the blueprint. We're excited to announce what's next.
Well, that sounds exciting and very important work. Of course, United Way is always doing important work, but you rise to the moment when there are things like this. Because, this is the kind of thing where as smart as you are, as good as you are, no board and no president and CEO could have anticipated this particular shutdown. We can anticipate that there will be shutdowns.
Yeah.
But a 42-day shutdown?
Right. Back and forth on SNAP benefits and judges and, you know.
So this is such a unfortunate, unexpected, as I say, disaster of our own making. I'm going to say. You don't have to say it. I can say it. But this is what we have to deal with.
Absolutely.
And so I'm glad that United Way is stepping up with your government relief fund to do it. So one more time before we hit the break, how can people find out more to help in one way or another?
Yeah, thank folks that have already supported the fund, our community partners like our food banks, all of them throughout the region. But for folks out there who want to help or want to learn where to get help, they can visit UnitedWay, SELA.org. It's right there on the main page. You click the button and you're in. You can find all the resources and if you want to make a contribution.
Wonderful. Awesome. Thank you so much. We've been in conversation with Michael Williamson, President and CEO of United Way of Southeastern Louisiana. They've got a federal government shutdown relief fund going. It's been going for a few days. They're going to keep it going. They've got some community partners working with them. If you want to access that information or contribute, be sure to visit their website, UnitedWay, SELA.org.
Yes,
Did I
sir.
get it right?
You got it right, Will. Yes. I love it.
All right. So we're going to go to break. This is Will Sutton. I'm here with Ashley Shelton. This is WBOK 1230 AM. What New Orleans is talking about all day long.
By Calvin for Clark.
The Historic New Orleans Collection presents a new exhibition open through June 7th, 2026. The Trail They Blazed. Built collaboratively with people who participated in the local civil rights movement, The Trail They Blazed presents stories of social and racial justice straight from the people who lived them. Listen to leaders tell their stories of resistance and persistence in their own voices, recorded by the Historic New Orleans Collection. Plan your visit to 520 Royal Street in the French Quarter and reserve your free tickets at hnoc.org today.
The New Orleans Jazz and Heritage Foundation is the nonprofit organization that owns the New Orleans Jazz and Heritage Festival presented by Shell. With the funds generated from Jazz Fest, the foundation invests in Louisiana companies through economic development, cultural enrichment, and free educational programs. To learn more about what the New Orleans Jazz and Heritage Foundation does, please visit www.jazzandheritage.org.
This is The Law in Your Legacy. I'm attorney Pete Hamilton.
I'm attorney Ryan Hamilton.
If you had $1 million, would you leave it to an 18-year-old?
Hopefully not, but that's exactly what can happen with a simple will. The money goes straight to your kids when they hit the legal age, no guardrails.
A trust lets you control when and how they receive their inheritance. You can set ages, milestones, or even make sure they finish school first.
Give them security, not a spending spree.
This is not legal advice. That's just a tip brought to you by Liberty Bank and Trust. For more information, go to libertybank.net or contact us at 504-915-5016.
Life Care provides valuable whole life insurance to cover final expenses such as medical bills, burial costs, and unpaid debt. A final expense insurance policy is fast, easy, affordable life insurance that's available to anyone between the ages of 50 and 80. No medical exams, no lengthy questionnaires, and no waiting period. The application process is quick and easy. You can even apply without having to undergo a medical examination. Just answer a few questions and we'll do the rest. With the average funeral cost skyrocketing to $11,000 and Social Security only paying $255, you need simple, affordable peace of mind for you and your whole family. Don't leave behind unpaid expenses that, if left unattended, will burden your family tremendously. Benefits include a guaranteed premium that will never increase, a guaranteed cash value, and a guaranteed death benefit that can never decrease. To find out how you can get final expense insurance with a guaranteed lifetime rate lock, call LifeCare at 800-571-9955. That's 800-571-9955. 800-571-9955.
Meet Leanna, a part-time chef and full-time mom. In the past, Leanna didn't have health insurance because she didn't think she could afford it. What she didn't realize is she qualified for Medicaid. She loves the coverage and peace of mind that comes with high-quality care. The kind of care you get with Healthy Blue. This is Medicaid, and it's for more people than you think. Maybe even you. To see if you qualify, go to myhealthybluela.com.
Good morning, Wake Up.
The Good Morning Show.
Good morning.
On WBOK.
Good morning, good morning, good morning, good morning, New Orleans, and welcome back to the Good Morning Show. For those of you who have been with us, this is Will Sutton with Ashley Shelton, and we've been in conversation with Michael Williamson, President and CEO of United Way of Southeastern Louisiana. They've got a government shutdown relief fund going, and that's a good thing. You know, I mean, so often with organizations like his, we think of the ongoing work, and then we think of the disaster moment, the hurricane, the tornado, the flooding, and then United Way goes into work. But this is a different kind of thing.
Yeah.
And it's good to see that they are working with partners, because that's a part of what it takes. I mean, you know that. I mean,
I know it well.
Yeah, right.
We're a coalition of organizations that are trying to, fight the good fight on a multitude of issues.
Yeah, central part to your name.
Yeah,
coalition.
Yeah, exactly. Well, and I don't, one of the things that's really funny about coalition work is that it is hard work. But we're better together. No matter what anybody says, we are better together, and that we can achieve so much more when we work together and partner instead of, working, at cross purpose. Or, and I always say too, like if you work at the intersections, you can go so much faster, and that's what coalition allows you to do. That's what partnership allows you to do.
Well, this is just a little bit of an aside. We all have different sets of experiences and backgrounds, and there's little tidbits that we don't know about each other's work and that kind of thing. There was a point in my career when I was not doing journalism; I was doing nonprofit work, and it was the most fascinating experience that we created a coalition with 8 partners, all with equal votes, to create something new that everybody owned.
Yeah.
And it was quite a thing to work through, because each group came with its own set of philosophies and focuses, and this is what we do. We don't do that. We do this. So it was something. But it worked out, and the new organization, Baby, was birthed. And over time, took some time, but over time, it became its own thing.
Wow, wonderful, wonderful.
So.
I mean, it is, it is hard work to kind of work through all of those things. Like, how do we work together, right?
Yeah.
But I do think that, one of the things that's really funny about power itself, right, is that in order to achieve it, you have to be able to understand different perspectives. Again, you have to be able to work across issue area. Like, like so much of, what, when I hear the headlines in the news, I always talk about this endless cycle of criminalization and poverty. But you can't, you can't solve it with solving one little piece. You've got to really look at it along the continuum of how are we talking about housing? How are we talking about early childhood education? How are we talking about, just economic, opportunity to be able to even meet your basic needs? And so, these partnerships become really critical. And I think it's the fabric that, helps create the safety net that.
And you can't have somebody walk away from the table, because then you don't have their voice.
Yeah.
You don't have their input.
Yeah.
That through thread.
Yeah.
All right.
We're better
it's
together.
8 o'clock, top of the hour. And you got to be there at 8 o'clock. I hope you're there already, because hopefully you don't have to punch a clock. But if you do, punch, because it's 8 o'clock right now. Coming up in this next hour, we're going to be talking with Housing Authority of New Orleans. And you may think, well, okay, we know what they're going to be talking about. Yes, they're going to be talking about housing. But this is going to be a bit of a different take, because tying housing to men's empowerment. So you're going to want to stay tuned to that. And let me just say, as a man, this men's empowerment is not just for men. All right? So I'm going to be challenging them on that, because we need to support the men and empower the men. And I'm looking forward to that conversation as well. This is WBOK 1230 AM. The talk line is 504-582-9422. 504-582-9422. WBOK 1230 AM, what New Orleans is talking about all day long.
WBOK New Orleans, home of the Good Morning Show, 7 to 9 a.m. weekdays.
This news report is brought to you by New Schools for New Orleans. I'm Amber Payton with BIN News Now. Chicago may be the next battleground in President Trump's immigration crackdown. Homeland Chief Kristi Noem confirmed ICE operations are planned soon with possible National Guard backup if protests erupt. Governor J.B. Pritzker and Black Mayor Brandon Johnson say the enforcement is not welcome, with Pritzker promising a response. Billboard has named Drake the top R&B hip-hop artist of the 21st century, citing his 30 number ones, 135 top 10 hits, and 355 total chart entries. Rounding out the top 5 are Beyonce, The Weeknd, Chris Brown, and Usher. And the family of a black man, Dante Melton Jr., plans to sue over his death in Baltimore police custody. Melton died in June after waiting nearly an hour for medics during a dispatch outage. His death was ruled a homicide, and the lawsuit will be filed after the state investigation concludes. Get BIN News Now on demand 24/7 on the iHeartRadio app.
This is Dr. Jaquil Ross, the host for Talk That, NOLA Education, brought to you by New Schools for New Orleans. On Talk That, we'll be focusing on the amazing work of educators and students happening inside and around public schools in New Orleans. Our school communities are full of so much talent and promise, so let's talk about it. This month, we'll be joined by Jamar McNeely, Jarrell Bryant, and Dana Peterson for a discussion focused on the importance of black men in education. Also, we will hear from Kathleen Harris, Dr. Sheila Guidry, and Dr. Kelly Jordan to talk about how NSNO and NOLA Public Schools are supporting a growing English language learner population in our schools. Following that, we will have a conversation with a few representatives from NOLA Public Schools to talk about the upcoming enrollment window for school year 26-27 using the New Orleans Common Application process. So tune in to Talk That, NOLA Education, every Monday at 12:30 p.m. on 12:30 a.m. To learn more about NSNO and our programs, visit newschoolsforneworleans.org.
Good morning, Wake Up. The Good Morning Show. Good morning. On WBOK.
Good morning, New Orleans, and welcome back to the Good Morning Show right here on WBOK 1230 AM. We want to thank our WBOK family of listeners. If you are on AM radio, we thank you. If you are on the internet, we thank you. And if you are on Facebook Live, we thank you for listening and for watching. We see you. Well, we don't actually see you.
Right.
We
good
see that you are there, but
Right.
good morning. We know that you can see us, and we hope that you are having your morning enriched by this conversation and this sharing of news and information, and some good, rich conversations as we just had with Mr. Michael Williamson from United Way of Southeastern Louisiana. You know, one of the big issues, not just in New Orleans, but across our state and the nation, is the whole idea of short-term rentals.
Mm-hmm.
And, there's pros and cons on short-term rentals.
Right.
And there are all kinds of short-term rentals. It's not just your Airbnb.
Right.
And one of the big ones is called Sonder, Sonder. And so part of what you do in business is decide who's your target audience, your target customer. And not everybody wants to go for the folks who are strictly middle class or high end or whatever. But in that short-term rental world, Sonder decided that they were going to go for the high end. They were going to go for the high end. So we're not your regular short-term rental. You're going to get a more exquisite experience.
Exclusive, right?
Yes, yep. So they've been operating in New Orleans for some time. They've been affiliated with the Marriott, and that the most recent agreement is not that old. It's only from 2024. And in New Orleans alone, they've had 700 rental operations.
Wow.
High end.
Okay.
700 high end. But it's gone down to 200. So maybe some part of the business strategy wasn't quite working. Not really sure. but my colleague at the newspaper at the Times-Picayune, advocate.NOLA.com, Stephanie Rigo, learned that on Monday they decided to shut down.
Wow. Okay.
They just shutting down operations and canceling bookings
Oh, wow.
and
Okay.
evicting guests.
From the
So
property.
I mean, so it's not like
Right,
you
right.
have a stay through the weekend. No, you have to leave now.
Oh, wow.
Imagine
Wow.
that.
Wow. And and it's funny when you say high end,
Yeah.
usually folks don't, no one likes it, but the folks seeking a high end experience, I could imagine would be quite upset.
Yes, absolutely. I planned this for a while, and yes, I have money to do it 3 and 4 more times this year. But this is my New Orleans experience.
Absolutely. Yeah.
And
Yeah.
then
And what are you
have
supposed to
leave.
do? Right. Exactly. What are you
You have to
supposed to
leave.
do?
But wait a minute, I gave you money.
Right. Right.
Well, we'll have to work that out later. Wait. What about my money?
Right. Right. We're not working out. We're going to work it out right now.
Yeah. Man, so I have to say I have not stayed at a Sonder short-term rental.
I haven't either.
But just thinking about my life experiences with a motel, a short stay kind of outlet, a hotel, and the idea of somebody
Saying
leaving
you
you a
gotta
lever, give you a call, and saying you have to get out.
Right.
That's crazy.
It's insane. It's insane.
That's just crazy. So that is, I'm sure, going to lead to, I'm sure it already has led to a lot of angst on the part of a number of people.
Right.
For those of you all who know these names, because I have to say, I didn't know these names. There's a place called the Schaefer on North Rampart, Gallier Apartments on Carondelet, and the Louis on South Rampart. This kind of makes me want to know when are they going to be empty so I can see what they were getting.
Right.
I was like, my goodness, because I have stayed in short-term rentals before, not here, elsewhere, but high-end short-term rentals, kaput.
Yeah, that's
Kaput.
crazy.
Kaput.
Right.
Kaput. Well, we're going to go to break, and we'll be back with more news and information right here on the Good Morning Show. I am Will Sutton, and with me is Ashley Shelton. You may know her as the founder, president, and CEO of the Power Coalition. Y'all do such good work.
Thank you.
It's so important. It has real impact, and that's part of what I like. And even when there's not like big news about Voting Rights Act or elections and voting, your website is quite helpful.
Yeah, no, we talk about it's all year long.
It's
Gotta
all
engage.
year long work. People should be engaged, and just as much as it burns me up when people say my vote doesn't matter. Every day your vote really does matter.
And we're seeing right now, we're living the ramifications of whether you voted or you didn't vote.
Absolutely.
Right? Elections have consequences, and we're living in them.
Absolutely. The WBOK talk line is 504-582-9422, 504-582-9422. You're listening to WBOK, 12:30 a.m. What New Orleans is talking about all day long.
This is your news update for WBOK from WDSU. For all your news and weather, watch WDSU News, New Orleans' leader in live, local, late-breaking news. Today at noon and 4
Good
p.m.
Wednesday morning. I'm Daryl Forges with WDSU News, and here's your headlines. One person is dead and 2 others are hurt after a stabbing in New Orleans East. Police say this happened around 10 o'clock last night on Pebble Drive. We're told one of the victims died at the scene and the other 2 were taken to a local hospital for treatment. Investigators tell us this could have been domestic in nature. No suspect information or other details have been released at this time. Now, that crime follows a deadly shooting in Central City. New Orleans police say that happened yesterday around 6:30 p.m. on South Claiborne Avenue near Jackson. Officers say at the scene they found a man suffering from at least 1 gunshot wound. He was rushed to a local hospital where he later died. There's no other word yet on a motive or other information, But call Crime Stoppers at 504-822-1111 if you have any information that can help police with either of these incidents. And today could be the final day of the historically long government shutdown. The House is expected to vote on the Senate-passed bill to fund the government through January. This package extends government funding through January 30th and also includes a minibus of 3 full-year appropriations bills, as well as fully fund SNAP benefits through the end of next September. A vote will follow before the package is sent to President Donald Trump's desk. I'm Daryl Forgis, and that's your headlines for WBOK.
Good morning, Wake Up. The Good Morning Show. Good morning. On WBOK.
Good morning, New Orleans, and welcome back to the Good Morning Show. My name is Will Sutton, and with me today is Ashley Shelton. So good to have you back. I'm
So
glad
good to
you
be
decided
here.
to return.
Glad to be here.
Yep. Well, we've got a lot of stuff going on. That government shutdown is still ongoing. It's 42 days plus. We think there might be a next step and a possible resolution sometime today or tonight. But if you are on SNAP, you don't feel like any government shutdown is over.
Yeah,
And you're
no.
wondering not just about this month, but what about December
Absolutely.
and the holidays?
Right. And again, that's when all kids are home. And so they don't have their lunch, their breakfast or their lunch that they can get at school. So now what? And then, I see the headline around too, like our college students. And
Right.
we think that it's just families, but there's
It
so
is
many
not.
folks, that are struggling in this moment and trying to figure it out. And if you're in college, your options of what you can do about it are very limited, other than to go and depend on our food pantries and other nonprofits
Yep.
that are trying to serve folks
Yep.
that are in
And
this.
some of those nonprofits and food distribution locations are seeing enough people that they either don't have the variety or they're empty
Yeah.
earlier than they might have anticipated because people trying to make their dollars
Stretch.
trying to make those dollars stretch. But one of the things we talked about yesterday was that measles case
Yeah.
at the airport, and that is something that our Louisiana Department of Health has been on top of, and so they're continuing to let people know that if you were at the airport, Concourse B, between 5 p.m. and 8:30 p.m. on Sunday, outside of the secure TSA security area, you may have been exposed. And this is a highly
Contagious. Absolutely.
disease. Measles is
Get your
nothing-
vaccinations.
Nothing to play with. And when you have folks who are not getting the vaccines, that has an impact on the rest of us because as any valuable health professional will let you know, vaccines are not 100%.
Right.
They reduce the impact of something, but they are not 100%. It doesn't mean get this and you will not. It just
It's mean.
reduces the impact.
Right.
And so we definitely encourage you, if you were on a flight that day, if you were at the airport between those times,
Right.
and just because they say 5 to 8:30, you know what? If you were there at 3:30 or 4,
Exactly.
I would be concerned.
Absolutely.
I would be concerned. If you were there after 9 and picking up somebody and you were in your car, I would be concerned.
I
You know?
agree.
I mean,
agree.
I would be concerned
Yeah.
because it is so contagious.
Yeah.
And it's not like it's some colorful thing that you can see touch your skin. And it's a very dangerous. So please, please, please get in touch with your healthcare professional to make sure that you have not been exposed, or if you have been exposed, so that you know
That
what
your vaccines
to do.
are up to date. And,
Get
right.
vaccines up to date. I just went and updated more of mine, and I still feel like I'm not done. It's like, are you sure? Are you sure? Is there something else
Right,
that I'm
right.
supposed to do?
Right.
And so,
It's
and
important. It's important. I mean, I think, we saw all of those cases in Texas.
How about that?
Yeah. And I mean, and children died. And so, like, this isn't, I think folks think, like, oh, this won't happen to me or this won't happen in our community. But I think people are more vulnerable than you know. And this is really, can be deadly to children. And so, and certainly anyone that's immunocompromised. And so we have to really, be thoughtful about and take care of each other and our communities.
Right. And we are pretty much a news and information talk show here at the Good Morning Show, WBOK, 12:30 a.m. It is 8:18 a.m. And if you need to be there at 8:30, you need to get up and get going. And please, please, please be safe. Watch out for the babies. I am Will Sutton. With me is Ashley Shelton. And, we don't do a whole lot of sports. But, this LSU coach drama
It's been
is
wild.
something. I mean, now, so it looked like there was an announcement that the LSU head coach, Brian Kelly, was fired.
Yes, he's out.
Fired. And as is true with higher level jobs, there can be agreements in advance about if something changes.
Right.
This, that, and the other.
Right. Now, yep, their contract
All right.
may lay out how it happens.
That's right. And so there are, something as basic as cause or not for cause. And so cause has different implications.
It does. It does.
And according to Mr. Kelly and his attorneys, they fired him without cause.
Mm-hmm.
And somewhere along the way, it's like, oh, wait.
Nope, it's for
we're
cause.
firing it for cause. So where is the truth? Because that makes a
big difference
for him, for LSU, for LSU fans, supporters, donors. And we're talking about millions of dollars.
Absolutely.
If it's cause.
Right.
Which means we have good reason.
Mm-hmm.
And here's the evidence, here's the proof, and
right.
we dare you to say it didn't happen.
Well, and maybe they don't have to pay out the rest of his contract.
Right. Which
And
would
so,
be a big saving.
Yeah, but it also too, they're in the middle now. They need a new coach, and if I was a coach at that caliber, at that level, I mean, you think twice because this is, it's about how you treat people. Like, what's my experience going to be? What, like if I take this job, what, am I? If I don't have a winning season the first season, then what? And so
we got a new president.
There is, yes.
Oh, and we have a new chancellor.
Yes.
Oh, we advertised for a president, chancellor, but then the board decided we're going to split the job and give it to two of the finalists.
Yes.
Okay. Well, if you're a coach candidate, it's like, well, okay. So who am I going to report to? Well, it looks like they kind of worked that out because the LSU AD is not going to report to the chancellor, going to report to the president of the system. But the president of the system at one point said, I'm going to remove the interim tag. That sounds like I'm removing the interim tag. And the rest of it stays. But apparently he meant instead of interim acting.
Yeah.
Then he had to go back and clean that up.
Right.
And it's like, oh, no. What I meant to say, now that I have been informed, is that he is the permanent AD. But, of course, that takes a little while for people to kind of grasp, well, but I just heard. So, meanwhile, we've got a coach who is out, and we thought this was a done deal, that they're going to pay him the big money and go away. And he says, not so fast.
Yeah.
Not so fast. And I'm filing a lawsuit. to get my money. So you got cause, show me the cause, because that's not what we agreed to.
Yeah, no.
That could drag on. You take that into court, that could drag on.
Yeah.
Yep.
No. Well, the one good thing about the AD is that Virg Osbury is a good friend, and
Yep.
and also too so deserving of this title, and also too just also somebody has to somebody has to know where all the things are.
Right. Right.
And he's actually been there long enough to know
Oh, he
all
knows
the things.
where all the things.
Yeah, he knows where all the things are, and so I think that
The keys and the locks.
absolutely. Well, and I think too, in the kind of all the things moving around,
Yep,
right? Like
right.
that there has to be something that is consistent,
Yep.
right? And have some some knowledge about.
Absolutely. All
how
right, we
things
got a
work.
call from Rockville. Hi there. Good morning. How are you? I'm Will Sutton and Ashley Shelton.
All right. Good morning,
Good
Miss
morning.
Miss Shelton, and good morning, Will. How you doing?
Fabulous, fabulous. Good to hear from you
Good
again.
morning.
Of course, Will. I'm always that listener that can definitely listen to WBOK all day. Okay, you're not the only one to say, Will. I can listen all day, baby.
Love to
All
hear
right
it.
now.
Love to
I
hear
love it.
I was calling to chime in on the subject with the LSU and the coaching problem, right?
Yeah, what you got?
All right. Well, I'm just thinking about, everybody, and I guess in the whole nation and the country know how deep our governor is, in his feelings, and his feelings dripping all over about the subject with the LSU coach. And he had, strong feelings about addressing the situation and the issue and jumping in also in the issue. But it's just, unbelievable how he was able to set his eyes and his interest on that subject with the coaching that doesn't have any problems with money or whatever the schooling institution would have you, but you still haven't addressed your people that you really failed with this situation with the LA Gator program. It's just unbelievable.
Yeah.
Unbelievable. I mean, just wow. Where are your priorities, Governor? You just really blast yourself with that situation alone, because you still ignored your citizens, well as your voters, because you don't know how many voters that was in that number that you failed with that situation yet to this day, that you still fail to give at least an explanation, let alone accountability of the situation. That's all. I'm just wondering why. But at the end of the day, hey, we gotta deal with who voted, who didn't vote it in that situation while he's reigning for our governor as of today. So,
All right.
yeah, that's definitely pleasant to me. But at the same time or whatever. But all in all, on that other subject for us with the money and the concerning, with the whole government, with, everybody knows with the shutdown and what have you. And it seems like, for us with Miss was saying, for us with, everybody knowing that, the subject, for us with everybody doesn't have any money right now. The baby's about to be home, and so SNAP benefits are up in the air, and it's just, the country doesn't have any money. Our city doesn't have. We in a double, buckle down right now in the state of Louisiana, I must say.
Well,
so it's definitely praying and praying times right now for our city, and God bless New Orleans and Louisiana, the whole country in this definitely deficit situation.
Well, we can always count on you to bring up something that remind us to keep our eyes on another ball that's up in the air, and that's a good one, the Louisiana Gator program.
Yep.
Yeah,
absolutely.
Yeah, well, I just had to, note that, and then I want to also give you an update for us with, me creating that the email for anyone to express their, thoughts in their situations and the hardship that program, created on the end. And so when I say Will, it's just amazing how no one responds, no one can. And that goes back to that situation we had with the Housing Alliance lady, I believe we had on yesterday, about talking
about Monday.
People don't vote. You know, that's the result of that or whatever. And I guess, by frankly, you know, they not knowing that people, you know, showing the, you know, non-concern about it. That goes to show you that people they don't care. If you don't vote, you don't care.
Right.
At all.
Well, thank you so much, Raquel, for calling in. Appreciate
always,
it.
Always.
And thanks for bringing up Louisiana Gator. If there were an opportunity to talk with the governor, perhaps we can bring that up.
Yay. All right. Well,
okay.
Take care.
All right. Have a blessed day.
WBOK, and I'll be listening all day long.
All righty now. All right. Have a blessed day. All right. We're going to go to break. This is Will Sutton and Ashley Shelton right here on the Good Morning Show. The talk line is 504-582-9422. This is WBOK, 1230 a.m., what New Orleans is talking about all day long.
This is your news update for WBOK from WDSU. For all your news and weather, watch WDSU News, New Orleans' leader in live, local, late-breaking news. Today at noon and 4 p.m.
The warmer weather is back in your forecast. Highs today eventually reach 73 to 77 with partly cloudy skies. We'll stay into the upper 70s, lower 80s for the rest of the week. We're also staying dry for today, but over the next couple of days, we could see a couple of mornings with some fog. Lows for tonight dropping to 50 to 58, so a milder week is up ahead. For the WDSU First Warning Weather Center, I'm Raven Richard.
New Orleans, are you ready? A fresh voice in the city is here, bringing you the beats, the culture, and the stories that matter. From local music and food to real talk on what's happening in the streets, we've got you covered. Stay tapped in. Follow us on all platforms at WBOK 1230 for the latest updates and exclusive content. Your city, your culture, your news. Don't just hear about it, be about it. Follow us at WBOK 1230 now.
Tired of the impersonal, one-size-fit-all style of banking? You deserve a bank that delivers exceptional service and personalized attention to your needs. That's the Home Bank Standard. Since 1908, Home Bank has been a trusted financial partner for businesses and families because we go the extra mile to help you reach your goals. See for yourself why Home Bank is good for business, good for life. Stop by any New Orleans area location or find out more at home24bank.com. Home Bank, member FDIC.
New Orleans, this is Councilman Freddie King III. This holiday season, we're inspiring the city by giving back with our annual Inspire the City turkey and ham giveaway.
And this is Kim Charbonnet of the Sixth Ward Steppers. Please join us on Tuesday, November 25th at Alice Hart Charter School at 10 a.m., and then we'll be at Mahalia Jackson Theater for 2.
Each vehicle will receive a turkey or ham, a perishable food package, and limited gas cards will be available while supplies last.
We're coming together to make sure families across New Orleans feel the love this Thanksgiving.
Because when we come together, we inspire the city.
Saints of God, it's time for us to tell you the truth. It's time for you to start your 21-day challenge. Don't take another day. Do it right now. Call 504-701-4711. That's the Whole Water Stove, Pastor David Impartan Sr., the host of Change Your Water, Change Your Mind. This is the water that's designed to change your body, the way you think, the way you act, and the way you look. Why don't you start your 21-day challenge today? For $35, you can start it right now. Call me so we can set up your appointment. 504-701-4711. That's 504-701-4711. Change your water, change your mind.
Wake up your taste buds at Inner City Brews and Bistro, home of the one-of-a-kind peach cobbler pancakes. Start your day with our soulful breakfast favorites. Then come back for bold cocktails and those oh-so-good Creole flavors that always hit just right. In the heart of Treme, every bite feels like home. Doors open at 8:30 a.m. and find us at 1401 St. Bernard Avenue. Inner City Brews and Bistros, uniquely New Orleans, deliciously unforgettable.
message from the community scientist. Do you live or work in St. James, St. John, St. Charles, Ascension, Calcasieu, Baton Rouge, or St. Bernard Parish? You may be exposed to harmful chemicals like phthalates, BPA, and flame retardants found in everyday products but linked to serious health risks. That's why the Community Scientist, a program of Rise St. James, brings you clear, science-based facts that protect your health and our environment. Stay informed, stay empowered. Visit risestjames.org today.
You've got responsibilities, but that doesn't mean your dreams are on hold. At Southern University at New Orleans, our evening and weekend college is designed with your life in mind. Finish your degree. Start a new one. On your time, your degree, your schedule. No excuses, just opportunity. Visit suno.edu and make your next move today.
Good morning, Wake Up. The Good Morning Show. Good morning. On WBOK.
And welcome back to the Good Morning Show. I am Will Sutton, and with me is Ashley Shelton.
Good morning.
You again for coming back, and I guess I haven't run you away. You still here?
I'm still here.
All right. All right. Well, thank you so much, our WBOK family of listeners. If you're on AM radio, we appreciate you. If you're out there on the internet, wherever you are in the nation, in the world, we appreciate you. And if you are on Facebook Live, we appreciate you listening and watching. Hey, say hello to the people.
Hello.
All right. We see you out there.
Yes.
Okay. So when I say see, we mean we see that you are there. You know, we can't see you. You can see us. And this is recorded, so any little twitch or anything, you know, got to remember that can be run back or whatever. When Chief Compass was here, Nine was playing some music. I got up and I started dancing.
Everyone saw you move.
Yeah, right. Ain't like it used to be, but you know, I could.
Nothing
still
is
sing a little bit,
right.
You know?
Yeah, totally.
Back in my younger days, I was a drum major.
Wow. Okay. Impressive. Yeah.
Credentials. I like it.
So you were able to lean all the way back. Huh?
Few problems to go. So, all right. But look here, we're going to be jumping into conversation with Earl Randall and Travis Chase from the Housing Authority of New Orleans. Mr. Randall is the Director of Client Affairs and Community Relations, and Mr. Chase is Director of Philanthropy and Business Development. And let me just make a connection for you all, if you don't know. Ms. Shelton is the founder, president, and CEO of Power Coalition. So she knows all about client affairs and community relations, philanthropy, business development.
It's true.
That's all a part of what you do.
It
I mean,
is,
you can't be fooled by the name.
Right.
Okay. And so here we are. I'm a little bit fooled by the name because y'all with the Housing Authority of New Orleans.
Sure.
The Housing Authority of New Orleans.
Sure.
All right, so let's just give a little summary of what the Housing Authority of New Orleans is and is about before we start talking about why you're really here.
Sure.
So the Housing Authority of New Orleans is our public housing authority for the city of New Orleans. As you know, housing is a critical component of community.
Sure.
And when we look at what HANO is, and we look at and we celebrate what HANO is, HANO has been a vibrant part of this community for decades. And when we look at community, when we look at the fabric of the city of New Orleans, there are HANO heroes that come to mind, that have been embedded within our community forever. But when we talk about HANO, we talk about the public housing developments, which we have 11 public housing development sites.
Correct.
But we have over 18,000+ voucher holders. Which is known as Section 8 or the Housing Choice Voucher Program. And so that program allows citizens to take their voucher and go and move anywhere within the community as affordable rental housing. So when we talk about 18 plus voucher holders in our 11 communities, we have well over 22,000 citizens of New Orleans that's embedded all throughout this city. So when we talk about the Housing Authority of New Orleans, we're investing in human potential and not just housing.
Correct.
So when we talk about those communities and developing those communities, we have to talk about the economic development in those communities, the community development aspect of those communities, the human development of those communities, and our young people. So when we talk about the Housing Authority of New Orleans, it's not just the housing portion, but it's community development as a whole.
And so it's not just the adult name that's tied to Hano.
Correct.
Because there's often another name and another name and another name because there are families tied to Hano.
Correct. Absolutely. When we talk about 18 plus thousand voucher holders, if you think about it, if one family has a voucher, that family may be a family of 3 to 5, or even higher, something. So on an average, so we're talking about well over close to 100,000 individuals that live within this. That's a lot of people that's impacted by what we do each and every day as the Housing Authority of New Orleans.
And I've known people who have been houseless.
Sure.
And it's no small thing to understand how critical it is, how important it is to have a roof over your head.
Absolutely.
A place to go, a place to eat. If you have a job, a place to go after work and regroup and re-energize, and a place to be protected from the weather. And even if it's not your own, like really the bank owns lots of people's but it is your place that you can make your own, and that's way different than a park bench or under a bridge or something else. And so the Housing Authority work that you do here is so important. And I have, in my career, I've lived in different types of communities. So I lived in Gary, Indiana. I've seen housing there. I've seen Camden, New Jersey.
Wow.
Oh, yeah.
That's a big one.
Philadelphia, I've seen housing there.
Sure.
A rich community like Cambridge. Yes. Public housing is in Cambridge. You know, so I know the importance of public housing, and people kind of have this stigma, as you used the word earlier, about what that is.
It is.
And then not thinking about who that is, because in the case of Massachusetts, that person on that train next to you might have a $1.5 million house.
Right.
Correct.
Right. That person sitting next to you might have a 1-bedroom apartment with 5 kids.
Right.
Yeah.
You know, and you don't know.
And what people fail to realize, in the state of Louisiana, there are 102 housing authorities.
Correct.
You know, there are 102 housing authorities. And so if you multiply that around the country, housing authorities play a vital role in providing housing for our most vulnerable populations.
Right.
And so when we talk about dealing with our most vulnerable populations, it all of those things come into play. You know, it's like that. It's not just the roof over your head. You know, how we
holistic services.
Those holistic and wraparound services that we need to really embrace. How do we advance ourselves within community? And those housing authorities play vital roles in that. I mean,
so let's transition to the men's empowerment that you're going to do, but I want to do it like this. One of the stigmas is that public housing is for women. Right?
Right.
All right. Is public housing for women?
No, not at all.
Not at all. Public housing is for everyone. It's family-based housing. It's housing where individuals have an opportunity to grow. And when I say have that opportunity to grow, we offer a variety of family self-sufficiency programs, resident self-sufficiency programs that promote economic development, that promote entrepreneurship, that promotes education.
Right.
Education is a huge component of the Housing Authority of New Orleans, where we promote our young people being comprehensively educated, but we also promote our seasoned individuals. I don't want to say older individuals, but our seasoned individuals to go back to school to enhance.
I never heard that one.
All right.
So it's for you too, right?
So that's why we're having our men's empowerment
Yes.
summit. But also, just to be fair, we're coming on the heels of a successful women's empowerment summit.
Yes, so July.
Yeah,
In
so
July.
the women had their inaugural summit in July.
Okay.
And so when Travis and I came on, our director, Marjana Willman, she charged us. She said, well, look, we had a successful women's summit. Now it's on you guys to go ahead and to come up with a successful men's summit. And we hit the ground running because we had a great model to follow with the women. And so we've put together a dynamic event for this Saturday, November 15th.
Saturday the 15th.
Saturday the 15th from 11 to 3 at the Ashe Powerhouse.
Right.
Good location.
1731
Perfect.
Barone.
Yeah.
And we put together a dynamic list of individuals that are pillars in this community.
Right.
But pillars in this community that want to actively engage with our young men. So it's one of those things where we reached out to folk and they were eager to come out to pour back into young men and give them just what they needed to understand that we come from the same environment that you guys are in now, and you have everything that you need to tap into your potential and to grow beyond the expectations that stigma has placed on you.
Correct.
So we want to make sure that this Saturday our young people come out. We're trying to reach that demographic between 14 to 24.
14 to 24.
But
Okay.
we're not turning anyone away. So,
Okay.
so,
Right.
we,
So if you're 26, it's okay.
if
Come
you're
on.
26, come on through. So we, I mean, if you're 66 and you need to be on come on through.
Right.
But we're really looking at that demographic where our young kids really need to see their mentors in action.
Right.
And they really need to see those mentors and be able to touch those mentors and really get firsthand insight on what questions you want to ask.
Yeah, well, I see you got my good friend Norman Robinson.
Without a doubt.
So that's an incredible start. That would be worth it just with Norman there.
Right.
Clearly.
But I'm looking at your list. I'm like, my goodness.
Yeah.
What about some of the other people you got?
So some of the other people that we have Juan LaFonta
Yes, keynote.
giving a keynote address. We have Fred Johnson that's going to come and talk about home ownership. We have a panel of entrepreneurs.
Larry Morrow, James Mays with them line.
So
Edgar Chase with Chase Hospitality Group. Jamal McNeely, CEO of Inspire NOLA.
Austin Taylor with
Austin
St.
Taylor,
Augustine.
St. Augustine.
We have Bernard Robertson that's going to come and give us some financial insight. So we have a slew of folk that's coming out. We have Pastor Weathersby that's going to be there to kick things off for us from New Hope.
Yeah.
So we are excited about. We even have a musical selection by Mr. Cedric Hawkins. He's going to provide music for us during lunch. So I mean,
wait a minute. What was that word? Did you say lunch?
Yeah,
lunch.
Lunch is provided. Lunch and
fully catered.
We wanted to do something special for men to where we'll have incentives throughout the day. We're going to do different incentives, door prizes, raffles, and different things throughout the day, just to kind of keep folk engaged and on. So we have a slew of partners that have signed on to help us out in this event. But we are excited because we wanted to highlight men from top to bottom. We have a spoken word artist that's going to come and do a special poem just for this occasion. Our theme is stand up, and we're focusing on the 3 Ds: dedication, determination, and discipline.
Yes.
We want our young people to understand that they have to be dedicated to their dreams. We want them to understand that they have to be determined to work hard to achieve those dreams. But we want them to understand that you have to have the discipline that's necessary to stay the course when challenges do come up in your life.
Correct.
Okay. I'm going to, believe me, this is going to sound like a little tangent, but it's Where were you and what were you doing beforehand?
So always in development. But I love how we opened up and we said that one word coalition. Under the leadership of our executive director, Marjana Willman, Earl and I are tasked quite simply to do coalition building. How do we find unlikely partners?
What kind of work was that beforehand?
So Dillard University, Southern University.
That's why I know.
A whole bunch. Yeah.
Yeah, right.
But yeah, I love that context. But what I love what Earl has been saying earlier, and that stigma that you said before is handled just for women, right?
Right.
Women take care of business, so they're going to find affordable housing.
Right.
Make no mistake, clearly, under the leadership of Margiana Willman, Earl and I are tasked to build consensus, partners, coalition, donors, business leaders, clergy. This event on the 15th is very simple. These are our future fathers.
Right.
These are our future community leaders.
Right.
These are our future deacons.
Yes.
Right.
The Men's Empowerment Summit is going to be important on the 15th.
Yes.
Right. And what were you doing beforehand?
So, in my former life, I was with the federal government for 19 years. I was the field office director for HUD here in New Orleans. But before that, I was the disaster specialist for the state of Louisiana.
Well, how about that?
So I handled the supplemental appropriations.
for a long time.
Right. Yeah. So my point with bringing that up is because what I am hearing and what I am seeing is an enthusiasm and an energy
Yes.
and a vibrancy that, no personal offense to anybody, but I haven't associated with Hano.
Right. Right.
Yeah.
I have not associated that with Hano and the work of Hano.
That's the beauty
And
of
so this,
Yes.
to me, is an indication of what difference it makes with tapping people like you
Right.
to bring in your sets of professional and career and personal experiences to come in and say, not only can I contribute, but we have other ideas.
Yes. Yes.
And there's a way that we can connect our philosophy, our purpose, this organization, this agency, and we are men, and we can make this connection. Doesn't mean you don't care about
right.
Doesn't mean you don't
They already have
respect
the
the
women's empowerment.
Yeah,
so.
doesn't mean you don't respect the women leadership,
Sure.
of course. But you're bringing something different.
Yes.
And this, what I'm hearing about Saturday is an important part.
It's very important. And we want to encourage everyone to go out to Eventbrite and register for this. We were asking folk to register because we can keep an accurate count of those that's coming. But like we said, we won't turn anyone
And
away.
we can follow back up with
And we can follow back up.
And where can people register?
At
Yes.
Eventbrite. Right at Eventbrite. And you look up the Hano's Men's Empowerment Summit, and everything will populate in Eventbrite.
Wonderful, wonderful. So once again, it is Saturday, starts at 11 a.m.
Start at 11 a.m. and we'll wrap up for 3. We have an action-packed agenda planned for this Saturday, and we're excited about it.
Correct.
Well, and Saturday is election day, so we go touch on some.
Yes.
The power of their voice.
That
and
is
their
a
vote.
big day.
Yeah,
It's a big
that's
day
a
on
huge
Saturday.
day for the city. That's a huge day for the city of New Orleans, but it's definitely going to be a huge day for empowering Hano men, and we want to make sure that when they leave lifted up and they're walking 10 feet higher than they were walking before. And that's what this is about, and really understanding the essence of this city, and understanding the close knit. But a lot of people, there's a unique dynamic here in this room. And I shared this with Travis. His grandfather and my grandfather were running partners.
No way.
In the mural
true
court.
story.
Your grandfather.
Our grandfathers.
Not your father.
Our grandfathers. Mr. Duckett Chase and my grandfather, Earl Randall Sr. They were pinball partners right there in the mural court at a Lafitte housing development.
Wow.
And fast forward, we're sitting right next to each other as partners, as collaborators, as men that's willing to keep the legacy going of understanding that we live in a city where we all have our own top porch stories. And I say our top porch stories because we know folk that have come from public housing, that have been in public housing. We may have been in public housing, or we've experienced Mardi Gras right on Orleans Avenue, or under the bridge.
Right.
We all have our own top porch stories, and so that's what we're here to celebrate. That's what we're here to share, and we want to make sure that we continue this legacy, but we continue it in a way that we're promoting the positive aspects of what's coming out of our public housing development.
Well, I'm going to put you on the spot.
Please,
Okay?
yes.
Because this is an incredible program, a wonderful opportunity. It is Election Day.
Yes.
If people are registered, they can vote. If they're not registered, they cannot vote in the election on Saturday. Correct. But every day is a good day to register to vote.
Yes,
it is. Yes, it is.
So
Right.
let's make sure there is a location on Saturday
Yes.
where people
look.
can walk over to the table
and
pull out the
We
phone.
are happy to set
What
up a
you think
table.
about that?
Yeah, no,
Can we do that?
I am ready. I will have
Hey.
Founder,
ballots.
president,
I,
CEO,
look, you
can
can
we
make
make
you
that
got it.
happen?
I will make it happen.
Okay.
Yeah, we
All
can
right, so-
register and.
So you
for
don't
those
have
that
to
are-
worry about the who.
We got it.
Got that.
I will have a table.
A natural partner.
They're right,
Yes.
exactly.
All right,
exactly.
so we got that, so we can get those folks registered.
Yes.
And this is one of my things that I care deeply about. And so I did hear you say 14 to 24.
Correct.
So no matter what age, because even if they are 66,
Right.
if they're not registered, we need to get them
We
registered.
need to get them
Yeah,
registered.
But let me just say, for those who are 17, depending on when their birthday
Right.
is,
Yes.
we can get them registered
Registered to vote.
Yep.
to vote.
Absolutely.
Okay.
Absolutely.
And if there's anybody already registered to vote, and they hopefully they'll go vote before the event. But if not, since you're ending at
At
3,
3.
Mm-hmm.
they can go and vote.
Absolutely.
Yes.
So let's make sure we encourage them.
Most certainly will.
And I'm coming.
Most-
Thank
hey,
you.
Hey,
I love
Thank
it.
you.
hey, hey, looking forward to it.
Yeah. No, you know, and I think too, like I appreciate too the like the shift in relationship too.
Sure.
That you know, like that these aren't just public housing residents, but
Sure.
that this is our community,
Yes, sure.
right? And that we're you know like that. I appreciate Hannah really taking this step to like you know like build those bridges and really be able to connect you know more deeply beyond just a voucher, right? Like it's like. Thank God for the vouchers,
Right.
but
Right.
it is about how are we building community? How are we supporting these young people? You know, how are we supporting these families to take that next step? And and you know, this feels good.
Yes. It does. It
does.
It is definitely.
Look, I'm ready.
She runs the place, and she didn't have one.
I
have one.
I got a car
carry it
full.
around with me
Yeah.
because this is an excellent summary of what is on the ballot.
Right.
Even the boring stuff of a proposition and for this amount of money and that kind of thing. And I can imagine a 14-year-old on Saturday looking at this and saying, I can't vote. I'd be happy to have a conversation with him
Yes.
and take this out and show him why
Yeah.
he needs to be thinking about voting now
Exactly.
and how he can have an impact on his own family.
That's what I was about to say, right? It was
You
like he
know?
definitely
Yeah.
lives
Come
with
on.
some folks that are
You
voting
know,
age.
so-
and-
It will have major implications.
Yes.
Earl and I can't advocate either way. Make no mistake, November 16th, affordable housing on that ballot. It will have
15.
major.
15.
Yeah, December 15th.
But he's talking about the
Oh,
day
the
after.
the
next
day
one.
after.
Oh,
No,
okay,
the day
okay.
after.
Oh, that's
Regardless
right.
of-
Okay, we were like, I was like, wait, don't confuse the voters.
No,
Yeah.
the voting day is November 15th.
Yes.
Yeah.
Earl and
Election
I
day.
cannot advocate either way.
Right.
But we are very hyper aware of the implications the day after.
Right.
Affordable housing is on the ballot. We can't go deeper.
Right.
But surely.
But we can.
Well, you can.
I talk about some aspect of voting and voter registration, voter rights every day.
Yeah.
So,
But
for
that's
some
the
work.
momentum that we're going to bring to the table. How do we bring momentum going forward to any other nonprofit or any for-profit? Hannah wants to be a real partner in this community.
Yes.
We have the most massive footprint in the city with affordable housing. Make no mistake, our lane is affordable housing. But like what Brother Randall said, quality of life speaks to what you're speaking to. Economic sustainability speaks to what you're speaking to. How do we wrap all of these services in, particularly on client services and strategic partnerships? You're looking at strategic partnerships and client services. November 15th, we're excited for the Men's Empowerment Summit.
Hey.
Yeah.
All right, I found it on Eventbrite. So the headline is Hano's Men's Empowerment Summit.
Correct.
So you can just do a search. I know most of y'all use Google. All right, so go ahead and use Google.
Right.
Look for Hano's Men's Empowerment Summit, and you can hit the reserve a spot button as I'm about to do now. so that you can be a part of this wonderful program. My friend Norman Robinson is going to be facilitating, coordinating.
The host.
The host of
with the most.
event. And you got some incredible people. Once again, give us some of the names of those folks.
We have Pastor
Larry
Jamal
Morrow,
Weathersby.
Edgar Chase IV.
Hold on. Larry Morrow. For the people who don't know,
Yes.
who is Larry Morrow?
So he's an amazing restaurateur. He has a lot of restaurants. Morrow Hospitality Group, Spicy Mango, Morrow's.
The newest one,
The
Spicy
newest
Mango.
ones, yeah. And he's a great guy. And he is what we refer to as a hero and natural partner to Hano, as well as James Mays with them line. You can walk across the community and see the young men wearing his clothes, as well as Edgar Chase with Dookie Chase Restaurant, as well as Jamar McNeely, CEO of
Who is
Inspired.
Dookie Chase?
So Dookie Chase, a historic restaurant since 1941. I, by default, am a family member.
By default.
No plug. But we have a list of great, Attorney Juan LaFonte has been great to us.
Yes.
Let me just start and shout him out and plug him. He has been an amazing supporter to the Housing Authority of New Orleans, and we welcome him to be the keynote to this event as well. So
Wonderful. Yeah. And you got some purple in the house.
They got some
Austin
purple
Taylor, he's the lead. He's quite frankly transforming. Yeah, I'm class of 93. Yeah, so he's transforming St. Augustine High School. 73, 93. Yeah. What was that term you used? That was great.
Chronological
season.
Amazing.
I turned 70 in the summer. And I was like, I'm just too young. I mean, I'll take the senior discount, the senior benefit, but don't be calling me elderly.
Right. Exactly. You certainly don't act elderly.
You're right.
Very vibrant. Very vibrant. Okay.
All right. Well, thank you, Mr. Rando, and thank you, Mr. Chase, for updating us, first of all, on HANO, the Housing Authority of New Orleans. I think this is an important pivot for folks to think about HANO in a different way. Happy to hear that you had the Women's Summit in July, and we have a wonderful opportunity for young men of various ages to come out with a target of 14 to 24 on Saturday at 11 a.m. at the Powerhouse over at Ashe. So that, for those of you who've been there before, that's not the main building. That's like right around the corner.
Right.
And just go up in the door and up the stairs. And there's a wonderful room there for that. Look for it on Eventbrite, and you can reserve your spot. And the cost, again, gentlemen, is
free. FREE.
Absolutely free.
And we're encouraging other business partners. So if there's clergy, if there's attorneys, we have someone on our staff, Arajan Cooley. Please email her. She would love, at this date, we're taking more folks on, partners. So iCooley@hano.edu. Miss Arajan Cooley, ICOOLEY@hano.org.
All right. Well, I'm having so much fun. I'm about to run over into the next show, so I can't do that. So thank you again, Mr. Chase and Mr. Randall. Don't forget the Hano Men's Empowerment Summit on Saturday, 11 to 3. Thank you, Ashley Shelton, for being with me yesterday and coming back today.
Yes, a good day.
We might have some conversation about I won't put you on the spot right now. Right. Okay, all right. You're listening to WBOK, 1230 a.m., what New Orleans is talking about all day long.